Some stories you hear sound like they're straight out of a horror movie, but you never think they'll happen to you. Well, this one did. This is the story of how my military training probably saved my life on a desolate desert road. It was back when I was a Marine. I was making the long drive from my base in 29 Palms, California, all the way to Albuquerque, New Mexico. If you've ever been to 29 Palms, you know it's in the middle of the high desert, east of LA. It's a whole lot of nothing out there. To save some time, I decided to take a shortcut, a two-lane road that cut straight through the emptiness. The only sign of civilization on this route was the tiny, almost abandoned town of Amboy. I was driving completely alone, and the sun was starting to dip lower in the sky, casting long, eerie shadows across the landscape. The road began to climb up into a mountain range that sits between Amboy and Interstate 40. Once I crested the peak, I found myself driving north through a narrow canyon. The road was hemmed in on both sides by tall, dry grass that swayed in the wind. It was dead quiet, just the sound of my engine and the tires on the asphalt. Then up ahead, I saw something, a dark shape, right in the middle of the road. As I got closer, I started to slow down, trying to make sense of what I was looking at. It was a car, a red Pontiac Fiero to be exact, stopped completely sideways, blocking both lanes. It looked like a terrible accident. A suitcase was lying on the ground, busted open, with clothes scattered everywhere. And next to the car, lying face down on the pavement, were two bodies, a man and a woman. I brought my car to a stop about 100 feet away, my heart starting to pound in my chest. Instantly, every instinct I had was screaming at me. The hair on the back of my neck stood up straight. Something felt deeply, fundamentally wrong about this scene. Being a Marine, my training kicked in before I even had time to fully process the thought. I reached under my seat, grabbed my 9mm pistol, and racked the slide, chambering around. The metallic clack was a small comfort in the sudden, chilling silence. I just sat there for a moment, scanning everything. The scene looked too perfect. It was almost theatrical. The way the bodies were positioned, the scattered clothes, the car perfectly blocking the road. It felt staged. It felt like an ambush. My eyes darted from the car to the tall grass lining the road. I couldn't see anything, but I could feel it. I knew I wasn't alone. Getting out of the car was not an option. That much was clear. Calling for help was also out. There was zero cell service in this canyon. I had to make a decision, and I had to make it fast. My mind went into overdrive, analyzing the scene like a tactical problem. I looked at the layout of the accident. The man's body was on the left side of the road, the woman's on the right. The Fiero was positioned just behind them. There was a gap, a path. It was tight, but it was there. I mapped it out in my head. I would have to swerve hard to the left to get around the man, then immediately whip the wheel to the right to clear the woman, and then cut in behind the Fiero to get back onto the open road on the other side. It was a risky maneuver. If I misjudged the distance by even a few inches, I could hit the car, or worse, one of the bodies. But sitting here, waiting, felt like a death sentence. I took a deep breath, my knuckles white on the steering wheel and the gear shift. I dropped my car into first gear. Without a second of hesitation, I smashed the gas pedal to the floor. The engine screamed as the tires bit into the asphalt. I shot forward, aiming for that tiny gap. The car lurched to the left. For a split second, the man's body filled my driver's side window. Then I yanked the wheel hard to the right. The car fishtailed slightly, but I corrected, and the woman's body flashed past my passenger side. I threaded the needle perfectly, whipping the car behind the red Fiero and back onto the clear stretch of road. I didn't hit a thing. I didn't dare look back. Not yet. I kept my foot mashed to the floor, accelerating away from the scene as fast as my car could go. After putting a couple of 100 feet between me and that horrifying tableau, I eased up on the gas just enough to catch my breath, my heart hammering against my ribs like it was trying to escape. My hands were shaking. That's when I glanced up at my rearview mirror. What I saw turned my blood to ice. The two bodies, the man and the woman, were no longer lying face down on the road. They were up on their knees, watching me drive away. And then, as if materializing from the earth itself, people started emerging from the tall grass on both sides of the road. 1, then 5, then 10. Then what looked like 20 or more figures all converging on the red Fiero in the middle of the road. A fresh wave of adrenaline and pure terror surged through me. My right foot slammed the gas pedal back down to the floorboard, and I did not let up. I drove like my life depended on it, because I was now certain that it did. I didn't slow down, not even a little, until I saw the blessed sight of the on-ramp for I-40 East. Only then did I ease off the accelerator, my car merging onto the safety of the busy interstate. To this day, I will never know for sure what would have happened if I had stopped. If I had gotten out of my car to check on those bodies, or even if I'd just pulled up a little closer. But I have no doubt in my mind that it was a trap. A perfect, terrifyingly clever trap, set in the middle of nowhere. It was a stark reminder that sometimes the most dangerous things are hiding in plain sight, and your gut instinct is the only thing that can save you. Thanks for listening to my story. It's a crazy world out there, so please stay safe and always trust your instincts. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.